Welcome back to the channel, folks. My name's Shane. In today's video, we're here at Wickham Road Music in Melbourne, Florida. Not to be confused where we're from, Melbourne, Australia. If you look at it on a map, it's about as far apart as you can get on Earth. So it's crazy to be in another place called Melbourne here. This shop is awesome. And one of the best things about it being the massive Blues Brothers fan that I am, look at this out the front. We have a Jake Blues and an Elwood Blues over here, which is awesome. So anytime you see these out the front of the shop, it means the shop's open. Anytime you don't see these, it means they're closed. I really like that. Massive thanks to Don for letting us do this walkthrough. I really appreciate it. It's a killer shop, and it'll be one of the last ones in this series. So if you've enjoyed it so far, please leave a thumbs up. I appreciate it. We're gonna go in and check this out. And if you wanna check out this store, I'll link it down in the description box below. Here we go. In this section of the shop here, we have all our bass guitars and electric guitars along the bottom here, as well as this epic top row. So there's plenty to choose from. If you're a fan of Fender, you're gonna get a kick out of what they've got to offer. They've also got Tajima, and one of the great things is, we've seen these a few times now, but I've never seen a lefty, and there's two. So if you're a lefty, please remain calm. We're gonna give these a shot. I've never played these, but I picked them up a few times and always wanted to give them a go. So Wickham Road Music definitely has some cool lefties in stock, and there's a few more as well. I'm gonna give you my opinion on these Tajima guitars. It's the first time playing them, and they are really quite great. First time we saw these were back in Hawaii, and they really stood out as something as a viable alternative to Squier or Essex or any of these other brands. And they really deliver. They basically feel the same in the hand. They come in at 249 bucks, which is pretty cool. So if you're on a budget and you're looking for that Strat style sound, they do a pretty convincing tone. One of the things I really loved about it was the in-between position cuts the buzz completely. So if you have a problem with buzz at your house, or you go jamming or whatever, get into those dual pickup settings where it's either bridge and middle together or middle and neck, and there's no buzz there at all. I think it sounded pretty great. Let me know what you think. Lots of cool amps along the ground here as well. We've got Boss Katanas. We even have the Katana Artist. This is great. I did a full review of this a while back. Really cool amplifier. Lots of cool amp presets on the front, but very functional, and you get that speaker upgrade with this as well, which is one of the main reasons why you want it. That was a Craft G12W speaker. All right, here we have a Fender Player Plus Nashville Telecaster. So there's a few things that makes this kind of unique. Firstly, we get noiseless pickups all throughout the pickup combination. So we get 3 pickups, and each of them don't buzz. So this is a great point of difference from your standard Telecaster or Strat. And being that we get 3 pickups, you would think it probably sounds more like a Strat, but it doesn't, because we do get that Telecaster neck pickup and Telecaster bridge pickup. Another point of difference, we get a 5-way toggle switch, so you get that Strat switching. Another great thing to be adding to a guitar is this push-pull pot over here, this one, which allows neck pickup to be used in any pickup combination. So it's got that S1 switching style thing here, which basically adds this into any combination. So if you want to run all 3 at the same time, you can do that as well. We get a really cool contoured body on this as well. So this is more of a modern player's guitar. Nice sort of thinner profile neck, nothing too fat. And I'm always a big fan of these. We get locking tuners, which makes life great, and Fender get them right. So no complaints there whatsoever. Here we have a Squier Affinity series Telecaster, a really great budget tele style electric. A lot of people will buy these and then upgrade the pickups and so forth, but the pickups actually sound pretty great on these. I don't think there's really a huge need to do that. Overall value for money wise, these are really cool. It's a standard Telecaster giving us 2 single coil pickups, 3-way toggle switch over here, 1 volume and 1 tone control. And they just look great. Have a look at this silver sparkle finish. It's a good point of difference from your standard sort of butterscotch that you might find anywhere else. So very nice. Here we have a Marshall DSL 20 CR. These are awesome little amplifiers. I got a chance to test these out not only at home in the studio, but also in the context of a band mix. This clean channel sounds unreal with pedals, or you can use the ultra gain channel built into the amplifier, which has more of a heavy sound. So if you're into playing clean, or if you like a modern distortion tone, these ultra gain settings are actually really quite great. One of the cool things about it, you can also set it down to 10 watts instead of 20. So if you want to play at home, not annoy the neighbors too much, set it to 10 watts and you'll be good to go. There's plenty of acoustic guitars in this shop from Taylor, Yamaha, Alvarez, and Takamine. This one right here is a lefty, so it's right within my capabilities. We're gonna give this one a shot. I've never played a Takamine lefty before. I have seen a couple over the years, but this one's great. It's got a really nice pickup system, and it looks like it should sound pretty great. So we're gonna go into a little bit of a quieter room here and test this out. One of the brands we don't see in Australia very often is Guild guitars. They make acoustics and electrics, but the acoustics are near impossible to find these days, and they've got them here at Wickham Road Music, along with a whole lot of Taylor acoustic guitars right next to it. So if you're looking for a good selection of Taylors, come check out the store. This is Don, the owner of Wickham Road Music here in Melbourne, Florida. I'm so used to saying Melbourne, Australia.
I was going to say, I haven't seen you around Melbourne.
No. I tell you what, this is a bit more fun here than where I live, so it's good. It's good. Thanks for letting us through the shop. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in. We appreciate that.
No worries. When I saw the Blues Brothers thing out the front, when I Googled, guitar shops in the area, I was like, I have to come to this place. So thanks so much. Tell us a little bit about how you got started here and a little bit about your shop history, I guess.
Well, so the shop was actually started back in 2007, and Dave was the owner at the time. And about 2014, he was tired and he was ready to move on. And I came in looking for a capo, and it quickly became the most expensive Kaiser capo on the planet. So, we bought the store, and since then, we've managed to expand and grow and just continue making things happen. It's very exciting. And Jackie Blue really is the owner. You've seen pictures of her on this video already. So she really does own the place. I started life as a musician, went to University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music, where I majored in music education, and then spent 23 years in the Army not using my music education at all. So it wasn't until after corporate America and a little bit of time with work in construction management that I said, okay, I got to do something else. And fell in love with this, and no regrets. Having a great time every day.
That's going to be the biggest purchase. You go in to buy strings, you walk out with a guitar normally. That's a whole different level. What did your friends, family think of that when you told them that?
It was funny. I got on the phone to my wife and I said, we always say everything happens for a reason. And she was like, okay, I'm going to go in and check it out. And she did, and she and my son were fully supportive. She's still the chief operating officer here, and he has now moved on into college and doing other things, but we're still a family-run, veteran-owned business, and still have a lot of fun doing it. Of course, we branched out into lots of other instruments because you can be just a guitar store, which is fun.
Yeah.
But here locally, we like to cater to everybody because we think it's important. Because music is a gift, and it's universal. So we've got to be able to get everybody loving music like we do, and that's what we're after.
Yeah.
So, our big brands right now, of course, Taylor. We're very proud to be a Taylor dealer. We're very proud to be a Fender, Charvel, Jackson, Gretsch, EVH. EVH we just picked up not long ago. So we're very proud of those two dealerships, of course. And we are the only local Paul Reed Smith dealer here. Love Paul Reed Smith.
On the less expensive side, I noticed you have the Tajima guitars, or as you pronounce it differently. How did you say it?
So Tajima.
Tajima.
But we were having trouble getting gear in 2020, like everybody else. And we had everything on order, and everybody was trying to get us gear. It wasn't nobody's fault, but we had we had lots of empty hooks on the wall, and I'm like, okay, we got to do something. And one of our absolute favorite reps, Lonnie, who was our Alvarez rep, he had this new line, Tajima, or Tajima, or whatever, you know, I never get it right. Called him up and I said, do you have these? And he's like, yeah, I've got them in stock. And I'm like, send me what you've got. Wonderful guitars, great price point guitars. They play well, they sound good, they look fantastic. And they're just great all-around guitars. So we still carry them, even, you know, even though we don't really need to, they're just so good we don't want to get rid of them.
Yeah, it really surprised me how great they felt. I've seen them before, and I could tell they were quality guitars, but actually being able to play a lefty. So thank you for having lefties, by the way. It was
we don't have many, but we have a few.
Yeah, really, really surprising. And I love the in-between positions, completely noise-free. Just great, classic sort of stratty tones. So.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for great gear at a reasonable price. I'm always looking for that. I always want to find that because I know my clients will appreciate that.
I have one more question for you.
Absolutely.
I'm a massive fan of the Blues Brothers ever since I was a kid. I was told to watch it because I'll enjoy it.
You have to.
And I love it. As soon as I saw that, I was like, man, this shop looks awesome. Tell us a little bit about what went into the thought process of getting larger than life Jake and Elwood blues out the front.
I would love to be able to take credit for that. I really, really would. It's like the guitar ceiling. I'd love to be able to take credit for the guitar ceiling.
I didn't even notice that. Okay,
that was
get a shot of that as well.
That was my contractor, and because I said we got to have a sound cloud, we got to break up the sound. He's like, oh, do this, and then the gentleman that actually installed it was the one that came up with the cutaway.
Wow.
And with the drop ceiling for the hole. I'm like, brilliant. But the original owner, Dave, who had a dog named Barley. And his logo was Barley dressed up like a blues brother, which was wonderful. So he was a big auction guy. He found those at auction. And he has another set that is actually at my house that is not allowed to leave my house, according to my wife. Because I was like, well, we could nope, these are ours. So he put them out, and they've just been a part of the store ever since. We love them. Every time I was always a fan of the Blues Brothers.
It's the best.
I watch the movie every time it comes on.
Yeah.
We have had to discipline some black shirts and say, you will go home and you will watch this movie. Have you not watched this?
I tried to do that with Rhiannon. She's not sure about it at the moment. I was like, you got to watch it again, and then you'll love it even more.
It's come on. It's like this is Spinal Tap. How do you not?
Yeah.
Come on. These are iconic movies.
Yeah.
You have to watch them. But we did put the boys on wheels finally, and because dragging them in and out, yeah, a little tricky.
It's super cool. It's so identifiable as well. How can you miss that? We've got the Blues Brothers out the front.
Yep.
Done.
And that's the thing. If the boys aren't out, we're not open.
Yeah.
And if the boys are out, we're here.
Yeah, that's great. One of the great things about Wickham Road Music is we get a great selection of Seymour Duncan pickups. They have everything from your standard humbucker size ones here, all the way through to hot rails for a Strat, so single coil sized pickups, but humbucker in their design, all the way through to their standard Strat pickups. There's also a selection of Fender pickups right in the corner here as well. Texas Special is one of my favorite single coil Strat pickups that I owned and put in a Squier back in the day. It was a huge upgrade. Definitely worth checking these out. Another cool thing about this shop is we get a great selection of effects pedals. We have our standard box effects down the back here, but we also get a great selection of Earthquake Devices effects. Some of these are right out there in terms of what they do. I reviewed this Acapulco Gold one quite some time ago, and it's really quite crazy. One of the strangest reviews on my channel from a long time ago. If you like high gain fuzz, you'll get a kick out of it. The way Huge Effects used to be huge, and you can still see one of the older design ones on the side here, but now they're much, much smaller, which makes it more practical for putting them on your pedal board. And they're still top loaded in their design, so you can stack them right next to each other, which is something I've always liked about them. Electro Harmonics make just about every type of effect, and I must have reviewed 30 of them by now, I'm not too sure, but lots and lots of them over the years. One of the most interesting ones I reviewed is called the POG 2. This is a polyphonic generator which changes the octave of your sound both up and down and adds in all of these other harmonics to the sound, which almost gives you an organ-like effect. These were kind of made popular from the John Mayer song, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or so now, but they're a really particular type of effect that give you a very orchestral kind of sound without having to really do much. Yeah, thank you so much for letting us do this walkthrough.
Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. And once you have to safe trips back to across the pond.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Big pond.
I'll link everything down below in the description, up in the cards to your YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, check it out. Thanks. This shop has a bit of something for everybody, whether you're looking for an affordable electric guitar, acoustic guitar, or something more expensive like a PRS or a higher end Fender, there's something here to keep most people satisfied. So if you want to check this out, I'll link it down below. It's been a whole lot of fun, and that dog is super cute, man. Very cool. So thanks again for watching. If you want to see more in this series, I'll link it up in the cards, and I'll see you on the next video.